Tonight, right before you close your eyes, you are going to stare at a glowing piece of glass. Your thumb will flick upward, pulling a stream of terrible news across your eyes. You will read about economic collapse, impending climate disaster, and geopolitical conflict. You will feel your heart rate increase, your stomach tighten, and your anxiety spike. Yet, you will not lock your screen. Your thumb will flick upward again, searching for the next piece of catastrophic information. You tell yourself that you are just staying informed, but the real answer is far stranger. You are not broken. You are not weak-willed. Your brain is simply doing exactly what it was engineered to do over 50,000 years of brutal evolutionary history. To understand why your modern mind loves bad news, you have to step away from the glowing screen. You have to leave your comfortable room and travel back to a world where everything wanted to eat you. Imagine walking through a dense, primeval forest 50,000 years ago. The air is cool and thick with the scent of damp moss. To your left, a beautiful bush is heavy with ripe, sweet red berries. To your right, the tall yellow grass rustles slightly, suggesting a hidden predator. Which one should you pay attention to? If you ignore the berries, you lose a quick snack. If you ignore the rustling grass, you lose your life. Evolutionary biologists call this asymmetry the negativity bias. Your ancestors did not survive by appreciating beauty, they survived by obsessing over threats. Dr. John Cacioppo, a pioneer in modern social neuroscience, demonstrated this exact phenomenon in his laboratory. He showed human subjects pictures of positive things, neutral things, and negative things while recording their brain activity. The results were stark and undeniable. The human brain reacted with far more intense electrical activity to negative images than to positive or neutral ones. A picture of a dead animal triggered a massive neurological spike, while a picture of a delicious meal barely caused a ripple. Your brain is structurally wired to prioritize the bad over the good. It is an ancient alarm system that cannot be turned off. This brings us to the strange mechanics of your modern smartphone. When you open a news app or a social media feed, you are not just looking at data. You are stepping into a digital forest where every single headline is a rustle in the tall grass. A story about inflation isn't just numbers. To your ancient brain, it means your tribe might starve. A headline about war isn't just a distant political event. It means an enemy raiding party is approaching your camp. Your amygdala, the primitive almond-shaped emotional center deep within your skull, cannot tell the difference between a global news event and a local physical threat. It treats a push notification with the exact same urgency as a snapping twig in the dark. But why doesn't your brain get tired of the fear and force you to look away? The answer lies in a highly misunderstood chemical messenger called dopamine. Many people believe dopamine is the chemical of pleasure, a reward you get when something good happens. But neuroscientists like Dr. Robert Sapolsky have revealed that dopamine is actually the chemical of anticipation and seeking. It spikes not when you receive a reward, but when you are hunting for one. In the wild, if your ancestors found a reliable fruit tree, their brains released a steady, predictable amount of dopamine. But if they entered an area where food was rare and unpredictable, their dopamine levels exploded during the hunt. The uncertainty itself became the ultimate chemical fuel. Your phone is an unpredictable hunting ground. Every time you flick your thumb upward to refresh a feed, you are engaging in a behavioral pattern known as a variable reward schedule. Psychologists like B.F. Skinner discovered that animals become hopelessly addicted to tasks when the reward is completely random. Sometimes you scroll and see a boring advertisement. Sometimes you see a funny video of a cat. Sometimes you see a terrifying news report about a new disease. Because you never know what is coming next, your brain releases a massive wave of dopamine with every single swipe. You are a primitive hunter-gathering digital berries, hopelessly hooked on the thrill of the next find. This creates a deeply tragic paradox for the modern human experience. Your ancestors scanned the horizon for threats so they could take action, build shelters, or run away. The anxiety they felt was functional because it translated directly into physical survival behaviors. When you doom scroll, however, your brain triggers the exact same survival anxiety, but you have nowhere to run. You are sitting completely still on a soft couch, absorbing catastrophic news about events thousands of miles away that you cannot personally control. The survival adrenaline has nowhere to go, so it pools in your bloodstream, manifesting as chronic stress, insomnia, and helplessness. There is a counterintuitive twist to this digital trap that most people completely overlook. We often think that we scroll through bad news because we are pessimistic or miserable. But evolutionary psychology suggests the exact opposite is true. You doom scroll because you are deeply, desperately trying to feel safe. Your ancient brain operating system believes that if it can just collect enough information about the danger, it can predict the future and protect the tribe. It is an act of survival driven by a misplaced hope that knowledge equals control. You keep reading because you think the next article will finally contain the answer that makes the anxiety go away, but that article does not exist. Our ancestors lived in small, tightly knit groups of around 150 individuals, a threshold known as Dunbar's number. In those ancient communities, bad news was incredibly rare and highly relevant. If someone got sick or a predator attacked, it happened directly to someone you knew, and you needed to react immediately. Today, the internet aggregates the worst, most terrifying events from a global population of 8 billion people and delivers them directly to your face. Your brain was never designed to process the collective trauma of an entire planet every single morning. You are forcing a system built for a small village to carry the weight of the whole world. So, how do you escape an evolutionary trap that has been fine-tuning its machinery for 50,000 years? The solution is not to display superhuman willpower, because willpower is no match for millions of years of biology. The solution is to realize that the digital world is intentionally exploiting your survival instincts for profit. Social media algorithms are specifically designed to amplify outrage and terror because they know your negativity bias will force you to look. The tech companies do not want you to be informed. They want your amygdala to stay hijacked so you keep scrolling and viewing advertisements. When you recognize that your anxiety is being commercialized, the nature of the game changes completely. Tomorrow night, when the sun goes down, you will likely find yourself in the exact same position. You will be holding that glowing piece of glass, your thumb hovering right above the screen, ready to pull down a new wave of global chaos. But this time, when you feel that familiar knot tighten in your stomach, you can pause. You can look at your thumb and realize it is just a primitive tool attempting to navigate an artificial world. You can choose to step out of the digital forest, put the phone face down, and let your ancient mind rest. Tonight, right before you close your eyes, you are going to flip a switch.